Welcome back, and this time we're doing photons for the dueling tips. So, I know a lot of people have probably seen my photon duel. Probably wondering why I had an argument with Galaxy Eyes. Well, Galaxy Eyes uses effect. It's optional for 2,000 attack light monsters and to special summon them. It's optional. You don't have to do it. You can just summon a Kaiser Seahorse or whatever you got in storage, or whatever you got in the deck, rather. Anyways, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon is actually a decent card. It's pretty much an Xyz killer. Pretty much a boss on steroids. You can pretty much take out like any Xyz monster and remove overlays from it as well. And he gains attack points, I believe, for each one. At least I think that's how it works. Because I don't usually use this effect, because usually he doesn't battle Xyz monsters. Because I usually win the duel with actually using his effect. So you know what I mean. And you can run 3 of them because you'll need them. Now, Smashing Horn. I don't know if there's many people actually familiar with. I don't know how many people are familiar with it. It pretty much counters stuff like Solemns and Horn of Heaven and Black Horn of Heaven. Any kind of trap or monster effect that negates normal special summons of a monster. So it comes in handy in this deck because I usually do it. Another good card, Photon Lead. I suggest running it because that way you can get out your Galaxy Eyes faster. You know, because if you have Kaiser Seahorse in your hand, for example, you can special summon Kaiser, then summon Galaxy Eyes, and then you get like a 30,000 beat stick off the bat. So you can pull it if you can pull it off. Good luck to you. Kaiser Seahorse. Even though he counts as 2 tributes for any light monster, you might want to watch your opponent's spells and traps. Maybe clear them out of the way before you summon them, if you can, like with heavy or at least destroy them somehow. Because if you get screwed over, because you're going to get hit with spells and traps regardless. So just keep that in mind. Photon Wyvern. A really good card if you can get his effect successfully. All you gotta do is normal or flip summon him, and when he's summoned, when he gets this effect, pretty much destroys all set cards on the field. Well, on your opponent's side of the field. So, he pretty much can clear your opponent's spell and trap card zones. But that only works if you can successfully pull off his effect, or if you you know what I mean, summon him successfully. So keep in mind that it won't always work, because there are cards like no Mina Crossout and shit and whatnot. Photon Cerberus is good if you do summon him. Here's a trick. When you have Neo Galaxy Eyes in the field, summon Neo Galaxy Eyes first. Negate the effects of all face-up monster cards on the field, currently on the field. And afterwards, summon Cerberus, so that way you can attack with Neo Galaxy Eyes. And you won't have to worry about traps activating. So you'll be safe. But it's only for that turn, though. You only got 1 chance at it. Shining Angel. Great card. Pretty much search for any light monster. You can search for Honest and then add Honest to your hand on your main phase. And just run your opponent's ass over. Not a good card we could use in this deck. Light Serpent is there as a staple, just because you can Xyz with the rank 3 with him. Plus, if he's pretty much an alternate version of Sinister Serpent, only he's a legit effect. So keep that in mind. Photon Booster. It pretty much increases a level 4 lower light monster's attack to a 0. I mean, not 0. Sorry, increases rather. To 2,000, so you can pretty much take out a lot of monsters with a Photon Booster based monster. So keep that in mind. Photon Sanctuary. This pretty much brings out 2 Photon tokens that have 2,000 attack. Sacrifice some to bring out a Galaxy Eyes. Because you can keep, as long as you have a pure light deck, you can keep summoning. Because he's counted as special summons, so it's actually worth running. I'd run 2 or 3 of them in the deck. Honest, a must-have for all light decks. Everyone knows what it does. It's commonly used. So, yeah, I'm not going to explain it. Photon Crusher is there for muscle. So he's pretty much like a goblin attack force. Except he's only 2,000, but he's really good though. I suggest running him. Especially if you want to keep him in attack and just wait for the right time to strike. It's worth it. Next up, I just put this card in there for a joke. It's Orbital 7. Now, you can tribute him off to actually add a Galaxy or a Photon monster to your hand. So if you can pull it off, you can bring something like Galaxy Eyes to your hand. So you can get him to, because Galaxy Eyes is both a Galaxy and a Photon monster. So therefore you can summon him if you have the proper monsters on the field to do so. But remember, pulling off some of these tips is actually kind of tricky, because this deck is mainly a power deck depending on what cards you're running. And that's, yeah. What else do we got? There's a second Galaxy Eyes. I suggest running 3 of them. Luminize. Luminize is a great card. Because if you're overpowered, you can use it, negate that monster's effect, add its attack onto your monster's attack, and you get a big monster. Just be careful, because like I said, there are lots of cards that can counter this, or counter your monster if it dares to attack. And this effect lasts until the end of your next turn. So just watch out for like cylinders, mirror forces, and stuff like that. Next up, Photon Saber Tigers. Now, I suggest running at least 3 of these, because you need 3 Saber Tigers, because it's the only way you're going to have an extremely high defense, because he's got a base attack of 2,000. But if you only have 1, he becomes 1,200. However, when another Saber Tiger is summoned, his attack goes back up to 2,000, so therefore you get 2,000 beat stick. What's next? What do we got here? Like a Photon Leo. I run at least 2 of these in the deck, just to bring out a rank 6, because you never know when rank 6s will come in handy. He pretty much just reshuffles your opponent's hand to the deck and then lets them draw the same number. So if they have something good in their hand, the chances of them getting something crappy is quite slim. It's about a 50-50 chance of his effect actually succeeding. Okay, so I'm wearing, I don't need to explain that. Photon Thrasher, a great card to have out on your first turn. So you can special summon on your first turn, just let him sit there and stare down your opponent, or you can just, beat the crap out of him if he's the only monster on your side of the field. Or you can just summon another monster and either overlay or summon Galaxy Eyes off the bat if you have a 2,000 attacker. So it's pretty much not that hard of a card to use, and it's not that hard to get around either. I think that's it for this part of the deck. Now we will go on to the extra deck. By the way, those are some nice sleeves. I got them on eBay there. Okay, for extra deck, we'll start off with the basics. I run... Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm running a Giga Brilliant. Just because the fact that he can increase all your monsters' current monster attacks by 300. So you can do it twice, increase them by 600. It's actually pretty good. It turns your monsters into higher attackers, so it's good running it. Shockmaster. He's pretty decent. If you summon him, just use the effect called Spell Trapper Monster. Those can't be, those are pretty much blocked. I usually go for traps just to prevent my opponent from using traps on me, just to be safe. So it's good for block. It's like a temporary Jinzo type thing. How many Illuminites do I have? Oops, sorry for hitting the camera. I got 2 Illuminites. So Illuminates are really good for draw power, pretty much. That's all they do. All they do is draw power, and they got a good attack as well. Next up, we got Utopia, which is good for stopping attacks in their tracks. However, if his effect can be used either turn. Wait a second. Okay, never mind. No, it can't. I forgot. Someone actually cheated and used his effect. So technically, you can't use his effect when you are attacking. Oh wait, yes, you can. Never mind. Sorry, I take that back. But yeah, he's a good beat stick. He can pretty much kill anything that's lower than 2500. So, but like I said, there are card effects that can stop him in his tracks, i.e., Cylinder and Drain Shield and Mirror Force. Next up, I know you can't see it, but this is actually number C39 Utopia Ray. Now, I pulled this out of a pack. The first Order of Chaos box I bought. His effect only activates if you have like 1,000 life points or less. But it's worth it in the process. Force Focus. This pretty much negates the effect of a level 5 or higher monster till I believe the end phase. Well, to the end of the turn, rather. But it's good for like wailing on the opponent because you can pretty much kill anything kill a lot of things with it. Not everything will die from it though. You can use it to negate stuff like So you can use it to negate Dark Arm's effect because Dark Arm will activate on your opponent's turn only, but you can negate it and Dark Arm can't use its effect. So therefore, you're good. Next up, we got Star Liege Paladynamo. Star Liege is it's a good card. You can it's got draw power and it's got an ability that puts your opponent's monster to 0, and it's permanent too. Also, its effect gets negated, so you can use it on Dark Arm. So you can pretty much screw over Dark Arm really well and then just run his ass over. You know what I mean? Next up, we got Photon Papal Octave. How many of these do I have? I have 2. Pretty much switch your opponent's monster to attack. I believe it's attack. Yeah. So it decreases attack by 600. You can therefore weakening it. So feel free to run as many of these as you want. You can even sideboard them if you want. They're really good. They can be used in any deck. Everyone's favorite card, Strike Bouncer. This thing can give you a hell of a problem. I suggest being very careful with this thing because it will and it can annoy you. Because it will inflict damage as well as what does it do? Oh yeah, it only works when the effect monster's effect activates. So now here is the trump card of the set. Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. This is the one card in a Photon deck you gotta watch out for the most. If Galaxy Eyes is used as an disease material for this thing, all face-up card effects currently on the field will be negated except Neo Galaxy Eyes. Also, he can remove an overlay just to remove all overlays off of all other Xyz monsters, and then he gains attack for each one, so 500, and he can attack that many times. So you lose 10 overlays, he's attacking 10 times for like a shitload of attack. So keep that in mind. Remember, play Cerberus afterwards, and then you're safe to go because you don't have to worry about Mirror Force then. Anyways, that'll do it for this deck. Join in next time when I give more tips on another deck. See y'all then.